Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. We have a late weekend pocket change market report for April 30th, 2023. Yes, you heard that right. This is dropping on a Sunday night. All right. So, because of all the big coin shows happening here this weekend, I haven't had the opportunity to do one of these videos that I normally drop on a Saturday morning. So, we're going to start out your week with, or better yet, start out your May, right? May 1st is just tomorrow. Going out there and truly finding some of these. We're in a busy time of the year for roll hunts, for coin shows, coin shop hunting, and all that great stuff. All right, so we have a pretty good solid next 30 days here. Let's see how it's going to look when summer starts to kick off. The kids are getting out of school. And you guys are going to kind of maybe, for once, step aside from the hobby, as we all know and love, for a little while, so that way you guys can go on vacation. It used to be that way. I don't know if it's going to be that way this year. The pandemic did change things a number of years ago. So, I don't know. It's anybody's guess. But we have a really good one here today. Some of the more surprising coins I've ever come across is going to be actually in this pocket change market report. So a few things to kind of set aside as we go into this video. We do not discuss graded coins. Okay, the big reason why grade them? It's way too expensive to grade coins. It's an unneeded expense if you're going to be a reseller in the business. All right, so make sure you keep that in mind. Most errors and varieties, they speak for themselves, and they'll usually command the full market, even if they're not entombed in that plastic. Another thing also to remember that as we go through these various listings, you're going to see nothing but all of the original photos of each of those sellers. So you're going to see the best and the worst photographic images that we'll come across. You might even get a little bit of a photography lesson, I guess, which is important, especially if you're looking to try your hand at selling on eBay, which is the biggest marketplace today for the coins that we're about to show you. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so it's a lot of fun. So after everything's all said and done, go out and do some hunting. Go check out your local bank, pick up some coin rolls. You're going to have a pretty good opportunity to check out some of these marquee errors that are being found on 2023 coinage. We have a few to talk about today. That's good. But let's go ahead and see what the market had to offer here in the last 12 hours. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all, and thank you for all the views and support. All right, so the first coin up to bat here is going to be a 1988 Denver Lincoln Memorial cent. All right, so not the prettiest coin. You see some of the pebbly surfaces on the coin, which is simply just some plating blisters. That's kind of par for the course for a lot of 1980s Lincoln cents. But even still, this is a variety that you guys can find out there if given the opportunity. So this particular coin has undergone a little bit of a name change in the variety community. What once used to be called the reverse of 89 or the wide AM has now all of a sudden adopted this new flared FG or flared G letter in the initials on the reverse, all right, which is appropriate. PCGS went and actually changed it to that. So anyone that sent this coin over to get graded, they'll use the flared G nickname for it. But this is indeed the wide AM. You can see the pretty sizable gap between the A and M there at the base. This is the transitional variety. All right, so when you find these, well done. They're worth a lot more than face value. As a matter of fact, this particular example in this condition ended up selling for $29.08 with 12 bids. The next one that we have here is actually a very popularly collected coin. And they call this a type of exonumio, right? Which really is everything else outside of U.S. type coins and precious metals and things like that. So some of the things that are included in Exonumia include Civil War tokens, Civil War store cards, so-called dollars, elongated coins, along with a various other group of other type of monetary instruments. So this is a Civil War token that was passed around very commonly during the Civil War as regular standard U.S. coinage was being hoarded. You know, someone else had to step up and produce some coins that could be used as monetary instruments in trade. So this one right here is actually a well-known error of this type here, which shows an American flag on one side along with the date 1863, which is a common date that you'll see on a lot of Civil War tokens and store cards. But if you look on the reverse, where it says, shoot him on the spoot, the spoot misspelling is actually the error on this one. It's supposed to say spot. So, again, very well known. There's a number of these that have been found over the years. And they're, to this day, they're still quite desirable. And they sell for about anywhere from 2 to 3x what a normal shoot him on the spot corrected coin would sell for. So this one right here ended up selling for $87.63 with 10 bids. So if you come across this one, by the way, it's a very common Civil War token. If you have like a coin shop or a show, like I was at a show here the last 2 days and ended up finding, I think, 3 of these, but none of them say spoot on it. This one is also a recognized fold attribution, which is 209/414A. So Fold is a renowned Civil War token expert, and I think he's probably been long gone. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's the official catalog number for these, and there's a bunch of different attribution numbers for all the other tokens and cards that come with this era. So very neat little collectible here. The next one that we have here, and again, currency is hot right now. All of a sudden, there's been just a lot of activity surrounding paper money, finding those errors, looking out for neat serial numbers. People are doing it all. Here's a 1985 $1 bill. As you can see, it has an omission of print there on the right side, which they call this a gutter fold, which is caused by a wrinkle in the subject sheet before the print has been applied. All right, so sometimes they don't stretch that wrinkle out. It prints over that, and then when you do stretch it out afterwards, all right, there's your missing print. Very attractive piece here. That gutter is a lot wider than some of the other ones that I've seen. The more gutters, or the wider the gutter, that's where your value's gonna be at. Like this one right here ended up selling for $40 as a buy it now shot. So not too bad. The note surprisingly has a lot of circulation wear. Like, you know, you couldn't see this thing, you're like, oh wait, that looks weird. I'm gonna, you know, pull it out a lot sooner than what this one is here. But yeah, surprisingly, people really don't pay attention to what they have coming into their wallet. So might as well take a second glance and make sure you're not overlooking stuff like this. So probably the biggest coin of the day has to be this one. This is wild, multiple errors on this one. It's a 1970s era Lincoln Memorial cent. Okay, the last digit's a little bit obscure. I mean, it could be a 0, it could be a 3, could be a 6, you know, an 8 possibly. It's got that round top to it, and it's also a mint mark as well. It looks like an S mint, so that'll help you kind of narrow it down a little bit. It's a business strike coin, but in any event, the coin was originally struck on a very thin planchet, whether it's a planchet that was split before the strike, which will make the actual planchet a lot thinner. Kind of hard to say, but we could tell that this the first initial strike did not strike up all the way. Okay, so and that's usually as a result of a much thinner planchet being sent into the striking chamber at that point. But as you can see, there's also a second strike on there. So there was another strike. The coin never ejected properly, something like that, and it received a second strike that is roughly 75% off center. compared to the first. So a coin with a lot of things going on here. Very, very nice. Again, this is something that normally you would see graded. So I have no doubt in my mind that maybe this might be a candidate for that. But anyways, it did sell for $210.28 with 19 bids. Very nice. The next one that we have here, pretty cool, but we've seen a few of these over the months of highlighting some pretty notable errors on the PCMR. 1985 Philly Jefferson nickel is about off-center 55-60%. Very attractive coin. Again, all of these type of off-center errors are commonly collected by date. So if there's a date that someone's looking for and it's a very clean-looking example, they're going to try and bid on it, along with a few of their friends. In other words, they're trying to all earn the top slot of some of these better date coins that you just don't see that often. So this one sold for $37.16 with 13 bids. And we have this one here as well, 1998 Lincoln Memorial Cent. One of the more common dates for this error, but it's worth noting. This one is actually a broad struck error. You can tell that the coin is a little bit larger than a standard Lincoln. You can see that the rim far exceeds beyond the motto and the L in Liberty and things like that. So the collar that holds the coin in place during the striking process malfunctioned, wasn't engaged properly, so that metal flow has to continue to span outwards when the strike occurs. This one right here, not the best looking example. It does have a pretty noticeable fingerprint mark on the obverse, which can be a little bit of a deal killer to some folks. But anyways, this one ended up selling for $18.90. And here's another error that we're all too used to seeing. All right, still being active out there. Probably not to the levels price-wise as what we've seen when they were first discovered, but the good old 2021 P Tuskegee Airmen quarter with the amazing burning building strike through on the reverse is actually a byproduct of a hardened grease ball area that was on that part of the die upon the strike. So it will leave that kind of interesting strike through there. This one right here, very nice condition too. Sold for $44.25 with 12 bids. And again, people are still actively pursuing these, and while they're not, spending hundreds of dollars like they used to, they still have a pretty respectable amount of market. So make sure you know that before you go and spend these or just selling them. All right, make sure you know how much these are selling for. Pretty decent, off-center coin here. Not a date that we see come up onto the market too often, but it's a 1970s Lincoln Memorial Cent that is off-center about 10, maybe 12, 13%, give or take. Coin is, as far as condition, not the best. It's got a couple rim hits, especially noticeable on the reverse. But all in all, again, this could be a coin that someone will need as a place marker before they find a really nice pristine example. This one ended up selling for $31.94, okay, which is an amount of money that signifies a little bit of rarity to the date. All right, again, we don't see this particular date come up that often, and it's a large date, 1970 as well. Always good to see some earlier dated pieces. How about this 1847 braided hair or coronet head, I suppose. Large cent is what it is, but you can see that on the obverse there's a few rim cuts. Quite common on this particular issue, as if you could imagine the production of coinage during our early Americas period wasn't exactly the highest quality operation, So, when dies begin to fail and break, it'll take a while before a mint employee would change them out or repair them. So you'll get things like this. You can see all the rim cuts on the obverse there under the date and to the left of stars 2 and 3. So this particular coin ended up selling for actually a really nice solid amount of cash. How about $193.49 with 7 bids. We also have this another beauty right here. Perfect too, because it's off center by about 90-95%. I mean, this thing's wild. But the part that's off center has a full readable date and mint mark, which is very meaningful to a collector that's looking to pick up something like this. And 74S, I guarantee you, is not a date that you see pop up too often. And the coin is in fantastic condition. So this one right here sold for $207.70 with 14 bids. And a lot of that is attributed to the tougher date and the fact that you could read the whole date on the off-center struck portion. Here's a coin that continues to make waves. Ken Potter, in case you guys haven't heard, had come to a determination on what this particular anomaly is on the brand new 2023 Lincoln Shield Sense. If you're interested in knowing more, you could always check out his what I call kind of like, he's still in the middle of, I guess, researching more into this, but he did throw out a theory as to what it could be. But on the 2023s, you can see it has an extra V-looking initial after the VDB on the base of the bust there on Lincoln. So it looks to be about nearly the same size as the regular V in the initials, which makes it very interesting. And it's been that for the last few months as people are looking to cash in on one of the coolest finds so far in 2023. Now, this one right here ended up selling for $44.25. And no, this will not be the last time you hear about this coin here today on the list. We have another very impressive sale toward the end of the show that you're going to need to know about. So make sure you're looking out for these. Cash in while you can, while there's still a market out there. These things are selling daily, which is good news. I don't know who's buying them up, but if there's active buyers currently on these coins, I probably wouldn't sit on them. This would be the type of coin that after a while will begin to dwindle in value. All right, this particular seller had a couple really nice candy half dollars. Now, you can imagine in the perfect world, these are a few coins that you can find roll hunting half dollars, right? Everybody's favorite sport in the hobby as we pursue, good old hot precious metal silver, of course. They're 40% silver or some of those older 90%ers. But how about something like this? This will actually kind of catch you guys by surprise because this is worth probably as much as maybe 2.5, 90% silver half dollars. But it's on the 1982p candy. This one actually looks to be in pretty good shape. This date usually is pretty rough as they did circulate or they were used in casino slot machines back 20 plus years ago. But this one is missing the FG initials for Frank Gasparo, which would normally be here in this little small area. And usually that's attributed to a over-polished die. So a die prepper or some other employee went a little heavy-handed with the die work and cleaning up something here. Could have been a die clash or something to that effect, but this is a great variety to be on the lookout for. It is FS901 in the Cherry Picker's Guide, so a very well-known one. And this one sold for $33.49. So, again, very worthwhile find, and they're worth more than your average piece of silver. And this one also popped up. I would say this is probably the second time I've talked about the 77D FS101 double to die obverse. Always a great variety, and a lot of people don't know that this one even is on the radar, but you need to pay closer attention. It's actually not too bad. You can see the doubling in the words "We Trust." Just pay attention to the bottom bar of the nine or the R and the top curl of the S, and you'll see exactly some of the strongest doubling that you will on this particular variety. This one's always being asked for in the marketplace, especially in mid-state conditions. So if you do find one that's in really nice high grades with this FS101 variety, the price is going to jump higher. This one, much like the previous coin, sold for $33.49 with 2 bids. And one of our favorite I guess, variety sellers on eBay. I think this is TLC Varieties, has a number of these 1960 D over D repunch mid marks. These are the RPM number ones, and I believe they're an FS listed Cherry Picker's Guide attribution as well. And by the way, I don't know if you guys have heard. If you go on Whitman's website, they're the publisher for a lot of the big coin books and stuff like that. They have the newest Cherry Picker's Guide officially ready to order. They'll be dropping, I believe, in August. The Live Coin Q&A YouTube channel did a little spot on that today, as folks like Paula Bloom had ordered a few copies in anticipation for one of the hottest numismatic books, literary pieces that you will need in your collection. No need to spend hundreds of dollars on these on the secondary market. Plus, as an extra added bonus, you get a revised version with new entries in there. So make sure you check out the Whitman Publishing website and order yours today. I think they're around $40, which is a lot cheaper than buying them elsewhere. But anyways, in any event, 1960 D over D ended up selling for $53.50. A huge sale for this coin as it becomes just one of the most popular out there. I mean, just look at the doubling on that mint mark and you'll understand why. We have another impressive, very clean off-center strike. This one's off-center by about 40% on this 2001 Lincoln Memorial cent. This one ended up selling for $20.25. And we also have this other great variety, this time on a 2019 Lincoln Shield, and this is a Philadelphia coin. The particular example that you see here does exhibit some circulation wear, so it's far from the perfect coin. But check out the doubling on the date, pretty wild, and also on Liberty as well. This one is DDO number 1, by the way. It's stage C. So there's a few stages based off of the actual dies. And this one ended up selling for $15.45. So a very strong one here. Always be on the lookout for this. Look at that fat tail of the 9 along with the cat's eye 0. And it's pretty crazy. Very easy to see if you have a magnifying glass. I'm impressed with this one. 1920S, always a tough date. Buffalo Nickel. This one is yet again another hotly pursued 2-feather variety. So this one is missing that third feather, which is normally right here. Again, due to an over-abraded or over-polished die, which is, again, probably a lot of die clashes happened during this particular run of Buffalo Nickels, from going all the way back to 1913 all the way up to 1938. So they're out there, and that's their way of kind of cleaning things up. And they, again, went a little heavy-handed with the polishing and smoothed that out to where there's no feather. So this one right here ended up selling for $131. The best offer was accepted. And it's an S-Mint, so a little bit tougher as well. Oh boy, so I talked and covered this particular note, not this same note, but one like it, about a week ago. And apparently people are actually looking at their bills and heeding my advice. So there was, yet again, another example of the 2004 A series $20 Federal Reserve note that is missing the green seal over the word 20, right above the right-hand side serial number layout there. So yeah, it's missing. It was inadvertently left off of the plate structure, which was very common in both 2004 $20 bills and also the 96 as well. So that's the non-colorized big head note. That one also missed out on some green seals. So the note, very well circulated, nothing too crazy, but the price was just right. Sold for $132.39 with 22 bids. So a very popular piece to find and worth a lot of money. We also, there you go, 1996. This is the other non-colorized note, but this one has its green seal, but it's here for a completely different reason. Again, look at the the wear on there. It's got the very heavy centerfold. Flip it over, and bam, insufficient inking error. That whole left side there is completely weakened and non-existent here. Not something that you come across on these much later dated notes, admittedly. But this one was eventually found and saved. This one it did sell for $61.44 with 17 bids. What could have stunted the actual profit on this was this pretty heavy tear on the top right corner here above the 20. So aside from that, I mean, a really nice find. Great pickup to whoever bought it, because there aren't too many of insufficient inking errors on the newer notes. More paper currency. Yeah, sorry, that's my dog, by the way. Just going crazy and has no filter. 1957 $1 silver certificate. Check out the serial numbers on both sides. Yeah, they're mismatched. One starts with 55, the other starts with 54. So we have one-digit mismatched serial number. Pretty crazy. Very, very cool note. Again, note does exhibit some circulation wear. You have a number of folds on this one. This one ended up selling for $356. Mismatched serial numbers are among some of the most valuable, most highly coveted paper money errors. I think there was even a rather new $5 bill that was submitted to our live coin Q&A email with mismatched serial numbers that we're going to talk about here this Monday. So our next stream is coming up Monday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern. So check that out. We have some new viewer submissions to talk about. No, this is not a silvered penny, just a Lincoln cent that has been washed out with a lot of light. All right, and you could transform a copper-colored coin into something that looks silver. But check that out, 1972 FS101 double die obverse, really pretty, very strong variety. You can see that right there on Liberty, the motto, and the date, and even on Lincoln's jacket and profile. All pretty crazy. Again, one of the most highly coveted coins. $475 was the final sale price on this one over the last day. We didn't have too much in the way of lots, but this one was worth mentioning. But it's just mid to me. It's not the best lot, but you know, it did sell for a reasonable amount of money. So it's 8 Lincoln cent errors. A lot of them are off center. This is a 1960s Lincoln. The last digits cut off. Another off center, what appears to be off center, but it's more of an indent. So this is an overlap on another planchet during the strike, but it's also the coin has been smashed right as well. So it's got postman damage. You have a broad strike, small date 1982. You have a type 1, what looks to be planchet, and a few other coins as well. Nothing too spectacular, but this lot ended up selling for $42 with 5 bids. There could be a little bit of opportunity to flip a few of these coins, and you need to try and double up your money when you buy a lot like this, because you're going to end up sitting on a few of these coins for a while. So you flip them, sell them singularly on eBay, and they're going to sit in your buy it now list for whatever amount of time till they sell. Could be as high as 6 months to a year. Pretty neat. I mean, this is a silver Roosevelt dime. Don't know what the date is, and it is a Denver mint mark coin. But this is a clamshell lamination that had peeled over and folded. All right, I think that was probably done on purpose at one point, but this was done a long time ago because the inside area of the coin right here is nicely toned. So this wasn't something that was done recently. This is probably decades ago. But pretty neat error right here. Again, you don't see this every day. This was a $99 sale, by the way, so pretty impressive. There you go. Someone sold a pair of the 23 VDB Vs. I mean, that's all you need to know. I mean, this is a pair, that these have been customarily going for $35 to $45 these days. Still very strong money, but this one will make you wake up a little bit. How about $167.75 with 15 bids for 2 coins? All right, so very impressive. That puts it at over $80 per, which is unheard of for this particular variety or error or question mark. There you go. You can see the little tiny V that's in there. Just to the right of the B and the Victor David Brenner's initials. So again, look out for these. They're big money apparently, and they're being found everywhere. All right, every conceivable place on the eastern U.S. These were not dropped in a certain area, which is good news for a lot of you. We're going to end things off on two amazingly rare pieces of currency. We have a 1974 $1 bill. You can check it out there on the right. Yeah, it says Bellevue Rare Coins, who's the seller of this one. They put their watermark, but it wasn't very convenient. That's actually on the most important part of the note, which was a fold over and printed error. You can see it on the reverse as well here. So this note ended up selling for $134.28. So very impressive, and these are always valuable. The last one is going to be a brand spanking new $100 bill. This is a 2017A. Check that out. A fold over and cut error, and it was printed over. What's even more cool is the fact that it ends in 4/8, which is a very, very lucky number. So this thing has a lot of things going on with it that is quite nice. But you can see the orange selvage there on the fold over. This is what the back looks like. It just looks like a regular $100 bill with a folded corner. But when we get it here, you can see that orange kind of edge of sheet selvage. Wow, this thing is impressive. And you can see the omission of half of the serial numbers and all that because it was a fold over. So this one, well, really? $512.16. Wow. Simply incredible note. Hard to believe that these things even existed out there. And this is a legit error, guys. I know I'm going to get a few questions about it. It's not in the actual serial number range where these were sold in sheets because this is too low for that. So a very impressive note that was probably pulled out of a bank strap because the note's in immaculate shape. You know, this should be at a grading company. You know, I would recommend it. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Some pretty crazy stuff to get your week and your month started. I want to thank each and every single one of you for being such great, loyal followers of my work. You guys have been fantastic. We are oh so close away from summer, and I'm ready to talk a lot more about coins during the summertime, and I hope you guys are ready for the ride. All right, so come check it out. Come check me out on TikTok. Come check me out on Whatnot. We're going to be doing the Tuesday bargain bin auction. A lot of cheap coins under $25-$30, somewhere around there. I think you guys will enjoy. If you're looking to pick up a few coins on the cheap, yeah, this might be the spot. So go ahead and check that out. I'll have my referral link down below if you wanted to claim $15 in credit on your first purchase and sign up. But best of luck to you guys. I hope you guys find some pretty neat stuff here in the coming week. We will have another PCMR on Wednesday and a live coin Q&A live stream tomorrow night. So that's it. I'm out of here. Enjoy your Sunday evening. Enjoy your Monday morning whenever you catch us. All right. I'll see you.